I don't know if you will actually read this. I don't know if you will stop for even 1 minute. But if there is even a small part of you that ever cared about me, please listen. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to blame you. I'm not even here to ask you to come back. I just want you to understand something you never really saw. When I loved you quietly. I loved you in the way I checked my phone every few minutes just to see if you replied. I loved you in the way I ignored my own pain because I didn't want to pressure you. I loved you in the way I defended you when people told me I deserved better. You probably never noticed because I never made it dramatic. I never begged loudly. I never shouted about what hurt me. I just stayed. And sometimes staying silently is the loudest form of love. Do you remember the nights when you were distant? You said you were tired. You said you were busy. You said you had a lot on your mind. And I believed you. Not because I was foolish, but because I trusted you. And trust is not weakness. It's a gift. There were so many times I wanted to tell you, you're hurting, but I swallowed the words because I didn't want to be the overthinking one. I didn't want to be the needy one. So I chose silence. And that silence slowly broke me. I kept telling myself, maybe tomorrow will be better. But tomorrow kept coming. And nothing changed. You slowly stopped trying. And I slowly started pretending I was okay. Do you know how painful that is? To pretend you're fine while your heart feels heavy every day. I would smile in front of you, laugh at your jokes, act normal, and then cry alone at night. Not because you were evil, but because you stopped caring the way you used to. And that change hurt more than any fight ever could. If you ever cared about me, even a little, please understand this. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because I started losing myself. I couldn't keep loving someone who made me feel invisible. I couldn't keep giving energy to someone who stopped giving it back. Love is not supposed to feel like begging. It's not supposed to feel like waiting for basic attention. It's not supposed to make you question your worth. And I started questioning mine. I started thinking maybe I wasn't enough. Maybe I wasn't attractive enough. Maybe I wasn't interesting enough. Maybe someone else had your attention. And those thoughts destroyed my confidence. But then I realized something important. The problem wasn't that I wasn't enough. The problem was that I was giving my everything to someone who had already started emotionally leaving. And that's not love. That's slow heartbreak. If you ever care about me, even now, don't remember me as the one who was too emotional. Remember me as the one who stayed loyal when it was hard, the one who chose you again and again, the one who forgave small things because I valued us more than my ego. I'm not perfect. I made mistakes too. Maybe I overthought sometimes. Maybe I expected reassurance. Maybe I needed more communication than you were ready to give. But I was always honest. And my love was real. That's all I ever wanted you to see. Not my tears, not my fears, just the sincerity behind everything I did. If you ever sit alone and think about us, I hope you remember how deeply I cared, not to feel guilty, not to regret, but to understand. Because one day someone will love you again, and I hope you don't take their love lightly. I hope you recognize effort. I hope you protect what they give you, because love is fragile, and once it breaks too many times, it changes people. It changed to me. I'm stronger now, but also more careful. I don't give my heart as easily. I don't ignore red flags anymore. I don't stay where I feel unwanted. You taught me that not through kindness, but through loss. This is not a message to win you back. This is closure. This is me finally saying the things I kept inside for too long. If you ever cared about me, even for one, just know that I loved you with everything I had. And I walked away not because I didn't care, but because I finally cared about myself too. There's something else. I never told you. I was scared. Not scared of losing you, but scared of becoming someone I didn't recognize. I started changing in small ways. I stopped sharing my feelings because you looked tired of hearing them. I stopped telling you when something bothered me because I didn't want another. It's not a big deal reply. I started shrinking myself so you wouldn't feel overwhelmed. And the saddest part, you probably thought everything was fine. That's the dangerous thing about silent pain. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't create drama. It just slowly builds inside a person until one day they can't carry to it anymore. Do you remember when I used to send long messages, paragraphs about how much you meant to me, about our future, about little dreams I had with you? Then one day I stopped. You never asked why. You never noticed the difference, or maybe you did, and just didn't care enough to ask. That hurt more than I can explain. Because when someone loves you deeply, you notice the smallest changes in them. You notice when their tone shifts, when their smile isn't as bright, when their replies get shorter, but you didn't notice mine. And that's when I realized I was loving you louder than you were loving me. I don't blame you completely. Sometimes people don't understand the value of something until it's gone. Sometimes comfort makes people lazy. Maybe you thought I would always stay. Maybe you thought I was too attached to leave. And honestly, I thought so too. I never imagined myself walking away from you, but love without effort becomes exhausting. Love without reassurance becomes anxiety. Love without mutual care becomes one-sided. And one-sided love feels like standing alone in the rain while the other person is under shelter. You once told me you're strong, but you didn't know how much strength it took to stay quiet, how much strength it took to forgive things I never even talked about, how much strength it took to say it's okay when it wasn't. I wasn't strong because I didn't feel pain. I was strong because I carried it without making you carry it too. But even strong hearts have limits. There was a night I remember clearly. You were online, active, laughing in your stories, posting like everything was perfect, and my message stayed unread for hours. I stared at the screen thinking, am I really this unimportant now? That was the moment something inside me shifted. Not anger, not hatred, just clarity. I realized I was fighting for a connection that you weren't protecting anymore. And love should never feel like a competition for attention. If you ever care about me, understand this. I didn't need grand gestures. I didn't need expensive gifts. I didn't need promises about forever. I just needed consistency, effort, reassurance, simple things. But simple things matter the most. You don't realize how powerful a small "I'm here for you" can be, or how healing a "I understand" can feel. Instead, I kept hearing you're overthinking. Maybe I was, but overthinking is often just over feeling. And I felt everything deeply. I felt when your tone changed. I felt when your interest faded. I felt when I became less of a priority. And even though you never said it directly, your actions spoke louder. Still, I loved you, despite the confusion, despite the distance, despite the pain, because that's who I am. When I love fully, not halfway, not casually, fully. And that's why it hurt fully too. If one day you look back and wonder why I changed, why I became distant before leaving, it wasn't sudden. It was built from moments you didn't notice, unanswered feelings, unspoken tears, unseen effort. This isn't to make you feel guilty, it's to make you aware, because love deserves awareness. And if you ever care about me, even now, I hope you understand that I didn't walk away easily. I walked away tired, tired of pretending, tired of hoping, tired of being the only one trying to hold us together. And maybe that's the most honest thing I've ever said. I still wish you peace. I still wish you happiness. But now I also wish myself the same. And this time I won't sacrifice myself to give it to someone else. I don't know if you will ever sit quietly and listen to this, but if there is even a small corner in your heart that once cared about me, please give me just 1 minute. I was never good at expressing my feelings. I stayed silent when I should have spoken. I smiled when I was breaking inside. I acted strong when all I wanted was to be held and understood. Maybe that was my mistake. Maybe you thought I didn't care enough. But the truth is, I cared too much. And this so every message from you mattered to me. Every small change in your tone, I noticed. When you became distant, I felt it before you ever said a word. I kept telling myself it was just a bad day, just stress, just overthinking. But deep down, I knew I was slowly losing you. I never wanted to pressure you. I never wanted to look needy. So I chose silence over arguments. I chose patience over complaints. I chose to protect your peace even if it destroyed mine. Every